Hey everyone, welcome to this very fun little interview. I am meeting today with a lovely Nan Moak from Dandelion Crow. And in the first instance, this is going up on our little shared group on my Patreon, so that you guys can see the work that Nan is doing. Yeah, just getting into the type of work that she's doing. This month in our Patreon group, we are talking about earth energy and working in harmony and in alignment with the earth. So Dandelion Crow is all about working in harmony with the land. So that's why I'm interviewing Nan. How you doing, Nan?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to talk to me today.
I appreciate you asking.
I think it's going to be really fun.
I'm super excited and nervous.
I think it's really nice to have an opportunity to talk through with people. I've known you for a couple of years now and known that you have been in this sort of slowly developing kind of combination of plant work and energy work. And I feel like now you're like out there in the world doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel much more confident in myself, so that's nice.
Yeah, and you've got your range of products that you make, and done a lot of extra studies since I first started to get to know you, and now you're like combining those things into new offerings. And I just thought it would be really nice for us to talk about it. And tell me about what you're up to over there in Mississippi, because the whole of your practice, as far as I feel, based on what I know about you, your practice kind of really centers around plants, like that's like the central axis. So how did that become the foundation for you?
Well, I had an herbalist, a local herbalist that I bought tinctures and stuff from, and then she moved. And so I originally got into plants on the medicinal level. And then in around 2018, 2019, I heard a podcast with Faye Johnstone, and she was talking about mugwort and how she was this magical grandmother and that she was feisty, and she had talked about all this familiarity with this, what I felt the magic of the plants, but I didn't have a way to get over there, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so I tracked her down after that. Like, I got her book, and then I started studying with her distance wise, because she's in Scotland.
Yeah.
But so, and then now I just keep on keeping on. But yeah, it's fun. New things all the time.
So the herbalist like moved away, and you were like, fine, I'll go out onto the land.
Yeah, I was like, I can't live without these tinctures. I need to know how. She was really sweet. She taught all of us who were interested. She taught us a course over the course of like 3 weekends. So it's all really easy, turns out.
You got to know what you're picking.
Well, yes, I'm very obsessed with growing my own stuff too. So for some reason, I had in my head that I had to do it that way. Right. So a lot of like my sales shtick is like, I grow the plants in my house, and then I make the stuff.
Right. Okay. So in my mind, you are out like as a wild woman foraging.
Yeah, I do that. Well, I mean, I do that too, but yeah, I like to grow things too.
I didn't know you were growing things at home. That's nice. So then you're part of the whole process.
Maybe, yeah. I participate.
Yeah. And is that different? So like, I think about you as being like out on the land, which is like one part of the work. But I thought growing your own from like being part of that process and bringing it into your home or into your garden, does that feel different? The way you communicate with those plants or connect with those plants, does that feel different?
I think it does, because a lot of them I can keep alive. You know, they're not annuals. They're perennials. They'll come back every year. So, you know, they're your babies. Even I'm terrible at indoor plants. I can't keep anything alive. But outside, that's my jam.
Okay, cool. So they're in your garden.
Yeah. And it's that's how I do it.
And when you are, obviously, like you said, that's your babies. When you're going out to gather plants from somewhere else, or just to connect with them as part of your practice, like how do you, tell me how that works? Do you communicate with them specifically? Like, is that a conversation?
I feel like you conversate like with your shamanic drumming and stuff. Like that's how I envision. Mine's more feeling, like,
Okay.
and I use a little bit of common sense, as in like, hey, this is not somewhere I should be picking from. Like you just know you shouldn't. But or like off the side of the road, they spray here horribly. So when I don't harvest anything off the side of the road. But in my neighborhood, there's like a field, and it has a mimosa tree that has been prolific. And so I feel, plus it has spoken to me. I feel like it's been very joyful, and I've gotten all of my mimosa flowers from there. And that's really, I mean, like that's me going out and doing that.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And
so rather than like conversation, you feel it.
yeah. Oh, you can feel a no, or you can feel, yeah, this feels really good. Yeah.
Okay. Like in terms of actually gathering the plants, you mean?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't, or yeah. And I think sometimes I'm like, I'm more overly conscious than, because I've been such a consumer my whole life. Like that's our culture. So I've tried, especially in the last, since I've done this. Well, in the first few years with the herbalism, I didn't quite get it. But now that I'm working with spirit, I'm much more of a, let's wait a few years with this plant before we start harvesting it. Does that make, like if I got a new plant, I may not make anything with it for a little while because I just wanted to get used to me.
Do you think it's promoted that patience? It sounds like,
I think so. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing about Earth.
Yeah.
It's doing this kind of work. It's so fun.
Yeah. So what is your kind of work, right? So you mentioned Faye Johnstone, who I think she's amazing.
Me too.
She does like combination work. It's one of the ways that she and I kind of connected and like went, oh, we understand each other's work. That kind of blending together of different things. So it's weird. Like I don't think of you as a herbalist. I think of you as an energy worker, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's the both. How do you do that? How do you bring those two things together?
Okay, so I studied with her 2 summers ago for plant spirit Reiki, which is like using Reiki with plants, my version of cutting it down to the base. So I use plants that way. An example, I don't even know if this is what you really want, but an example is like we had a drought a few years ago, and then with the drought combined by this beetle, this pine beetle, it wiped out thousands of pine trees. And it was really sad. It's still really sad. But like a park that we live on, like there's no trees there. They're replanting now, not pine, but anyway, so we had a couple of trees in our yard that were pine, and I was like freaking out that they were going to be decimated by this beetle. But one of them did get attacked, and the top of it is missing now. But I stand Reiki, and I swear to all that is holy that the Reiki has healed that plant, that tree, and I know it's still there.
Yeah,
because of that. That's what I feel like anyway.
So that focus is you actually combining, like doing the healing work
Reiki
for
on the plants.
right?
Yeah. And there's different exercises you can do. My favorite is green breath, where I breathe in you, you breathe in me, and you're just sharing that symbiotic relationship together. And that's what I use in some of my sessions. It's a really good way because we've forgotten how to do all of these things.
Yeah, I feel like this is stuff that would have been known, right?
Yeah, I feel like that too.
It's like proper, like old world wisdom, really.
Yeah.
Maggie Cunningham, Maggie Rose, she talks about these different magical archetypes that we can kind of connect with, and so it's like the magician, the seer, the mystic, the healer, and the sage, right? And one of the sage, we think of it as like the keeper of like wisdom and learning, right? But the root word for sage isn't about like books, like that sort of wisdom. It's much more the kind of thing that I associate with your work. It comes from the word to taste, and it was about like knowing where and when to harvest, when the things were ripe, you know, that sort of like that felt wisdom, that kind of, like you say, that connection with the plants. That's where that word comes from, right? Because that would have been useful information to have early on.
Life
right?
or death. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So like that connection with like the plants, that feels like some of the earliest wisdom that, like you say, we've forgotten it. And you know, I cannot grow anything, and so you know, it's just I don't have the skill or the enjoyment for it. I like trees. I feel like I can communicate easily with trees and less so with other plants. So you're using that work for healing the trees and presumably and other plants.
Myself.
And then like turning that relationship around and combining like your energy work with the energy that the trees are giving. Like, so it's both medicine.
Yes. Yes. So, well, I mean, like with any of my like herbal products, you know, Reiki it, and then so like I feel like the spiritual part of all of this, like for me, like what my spiritual practice is the making of it and like feeling like what needs to be made or what I really want to make. But I feel like it's coming from them. And then so I use all the stuff that I know about Reiki and you know putting good vibe. Like I've made an energetic healing spray, so I've Reiki that. I use a flower essence. It's been it fits with selenite, you know, all of these like magical things that it makes things so powerful when you put them all together. And I don't know, I love that.
And I don't know that necessarily when we're like buying tinctures from like a sort of bigger sort of herbalist shop or whatever, is people, I like the idea that someone's getting really witchy with it, like Reiki in this thing, especially with stuff you've grown at home, right? You've probably been Reiki in it from from its inception.
It does.
It's bringing those things, and you talked about your products there because that's you've been doing for a while. Dandelion Crow is your like your online shop, but also you've been doing like markets and stuff for a while where you're like, with all your products. So let's do that first before we get into your amazing new sessions, and you can tell me about your gorgeous products. So tell me about and what you're creating and you know how you made it and why, you know.
Well, I'll show you like we talked about just a minute ago. So at first I was harvesting, this is a passion flower tincture. It doesn't really matter, I just do it in small batch. So I chop, you know, I get the plant, I'm growing it at home now because it's native here. The passion flower version that I have is native here. And so I make that tincture. It's grown in my house with lots of love and the bees love it. And then it's really good for tension headaches, mild insomnia. And then I take it to the farmer's market, and that's farmer's market people in my area are much more into like the tinctures than the flower essences. They want the like literal medicine, not the energetic medicine.
So what's the difference then for this like ignorant person to me? What's the difference between a flower essence and a tincture?
A tincture is it's like physical, and energetic is the flower power. So the energetics of that flower you're ingesting or putting on your skin to work with that flower or plant or tree. Like I've made tree ones or
like vibrationally speaking then, I guess.
Yes.
So like passion flower would have certain types of like spiritual meaning, that sort of thing.
Sure, yeah. And yes, I have an aster one that I made, and I feel like it's illumination. So so that one, like I would offer it as that, unless somebody was just like, hey, I just need a flower essence, I need the aster flower essence because the aster has been calling to me, I don't know what it means. And that's okay, you don't need to know what it means, you just work with it. And I could keep
that's talking. How I feel about like working with power animals, right? That you don't have to have the full like information, like the full knowledge of why you're being drawn to that, or to like an elemental or anything like that. Shamanism is like that, right? It will pull you in a direction, and you can find out the reason why later. Thank you very much. But in the meantime,
because people don't gravitate to the essences in my area, because like that's what I was really excited about when I first started doing markets. It's like, oh, look at these flower essences, and they're like, wait, no, we don't care. So I've made a book of flower essence where I have like the photographs and like a little blurb, and that does it not so great. So my newest thing is I've got just like 3 photographs of the flowers, and then I set them out, and then they're like, oh, tell me about what's this? And so I'm like, oh, which one calls to you? Which one's speaking to you? So I'm trying that.
you're like
It worked for one
enticing
person.
them.
I'm trying. I just want, as a lot of education goes on and this in market type of work for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
okay.
that's almost like a divination process there. Then you're
Yeah,
asking them to like
right here at this table in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah.
I love that, getting away with these witchy ways.
Yeah.
In the deep south.
Yeah.
I love that. And the stuff that people, if people are asking for a tincture, like how is that, how are they working with that, and do you still put in a lot of energetics into the preparation of that?
I do, yeah. But and one of Josh Williams, another teacher that he's in the States, I shared with him like sometimes I feel guilty like marketing this. It's like to help you get better, like a medicine. He was like, but he made me feel better because he was like, you know, however people get to plants, that's fine because it can evolve. For me, that's how I started with plants. Was like, oh, this is a better way than actual, you know, over the counter medicine. This is like home medicine. But I forgot what the question was.
But you're still doing your like obviously you're talking about the physical, right? About what the person's getting, but you're still there energizing it.
Yeah. And then but people will like, oh, tell me about this. So I set up my table with like nervines, help your nervous system, and antivirals. Those are the big pushes, like because people understand colds and flus and they understand stress and anxiety.
I love that. I don't really have a way in to, I mean, you know, I work with, primarily I work with people who are already healers, right?
Yeah.
So they've already got like a spiritual practice, oftentimes quite an advanced spiritual practice. And so we get to that's the level of conversation that I have. I am like no good at being the interface. If like, it's like someone who is like, oh, hey, like I have this physical thing or this thing I want to change in my life. Give me like entry level information into healing work. Yeah. And like, I'm not sure I'm the best person for that, man. Because I just want to jump in, man. I just want to go, oh, let's go in, let's meet your paramour, let's talk about soul loss. But like, you are able to meet people at that moment and talk about like antiviral and that kind of thing. But they're still taking away a little bottle full of Reiki, right? Still?
Yeah.
I like
You're making me feel really good about this.
You should feel good about it.
This is great. I'm doing great work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, because people are being pulled, right, away from, you know, relying on, you know, we're eating a lot of stuff that isn't natural. And you know, there's a lot of you know, I think, you know, we're very lucky to be alive at a time when a lot of diseases like treatable and been eradicated, but there's a massive problem with like pharmaceuticals and the stuff that's in our foods. So people are being pulled away from that, and better to meet someone. I would rather, if I'm being pulled away from that, the person I talk to is not some rep for a company that makes it. Yeah. It's the woman who grew this plant.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Who like sat and meditated with this plant, breathed with this plant, and knows the energetics as well as the physical connection. Which feels more important? Do they feel equally important to you, or does the energetic and spiritual like hold a bigger place for you, or the physical holds a bigger place for you?
I think I can explain it and get it across with the physical, but I love the energetics, the way things make me feel. That's where I meet things, I guess.
Yeah.
It's where it gets me.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, I can tell I've never talked to you about your work in this depth before, like,
That's fun.
like excited as well as knowledgeable.
Thanks.
And you're
Thank
out
you.
there in the world with your tinctures and your essences and all
Yeah.
those kinds of things. But now you are doing intuitive plant healing sessions.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but I'm into it. Tell me more things.
It's pretty basic. It's a lot. It's Reiki with plants. So, like, step by step, how I would do a session. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Is that
please.
what you want?
That's what
Okay.
I want. Yeah.
Okay. So I created this really short Google form. So if you're interested, you fill out the form. That way I know kind of what you're expecting, kind of a little bit. And then ahead of time, I do a lot of prep with like sitting with the plants. I'm obsessed with oracle cards. That's how I get a lot of messages. I have a lot of plant decks. So we'll see what comes through. And then we meet, we chat, and then we do some healing, like either the green breath or a plant blessing, a distance or in person, because there's ways to work at distance. And then I show you the cards and such, and we talk about next steps. And then if you're local, as in the US, you get a package with probably a flower essence or something to work with. And then if you're like out of the States, then you would get email with like a spell or a recipe or something that you can work with. Or both. I would like, whatever. I just can't mail. It's too expensive right now.
Yeah, and also, you can't necessarily send those things to some countries either. It's
Oh yeah.
But like that's a really genius way to like overcome that then. If you're you're having that discussion, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing some healing for the person. So if they're with you, do you work hands-on with them?
Yeah, if I work, well, I'm not a touchy person myself. I mean, if they wanted me to, I can.
I only like
yeah.
to touch plants, actually.
But with a plant blessing or Olympia, as the original name is, we, depending on where we are, depending on the season, because you've got to figure out what's going on. But say it was peak spring, then I would pick some plants that were calling to me for you in person, and then brush the plants and all the negativity or all the ink off. And then you do away with the plants, as in compost it. It is so refreshing and lovely. And then you just stand there and you get cleansed. And then you can do, Reiki, all the things. There's lots of steps. We could make a flower essence together. I've done a floral foot bath for someone that was really nice. It was just fun. So that kind of stuff.
So you just operate on what comes through, right?
Yeah. Or I mean, if you were like, "Hey, I really want to do this together," then I'm like, "Okay, I don't care. I'm open."
You want to go out and look for this tree? Let's go look for this tree together.
Yeah. But I want to say that like we all know about this stuff, but we've all forgotten it. And like the purpose for me is that I feel like my work is to remind people, because I feel like that is what the point is in the old ways, and remembering, and that the earth is like really the main thing and at the center. And so I love talking to people about it. So these sessions are fun for me. I mean, there's healing too, but then you get to remember how healing the earth is. I like to just go lay on it. So I mean, if you want to lay on the earth together, let's do it.
Yeah. I love that. And it sounds like it's got like some element of play in it.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds joyful, Nan.
It is. Well, I'm joyful about it, so
well, that's
spread a little bit. So fun.
You like some I love oracle cards as well, you know it.
Yeah.
Yes. But and I'm learning the Ogham at the moment.
Ooh, I don't know it. I have like a set, and then I have your girl's book, doesn't she? I'm sorry, her name just left me. I know it.
I don't know who has a book about Ogham.
She does. Danu Forrest
wrote a book about the Ogham. That makes sense.
For sure.
He's doing a PhD in Celtic studies. I feel bad that I don't know that.
Well, I'm a little
Okay,
fangirl.
next
I have
time.
all her books. Yeah.
Okay. Well, next time I go to folk night with her, I will ask this question.
Yeah. Like, hey,
I
I heard this.
It's a really interesting little system, but working with oracle cards, I think is easier and brings in more sort of like visual
Yeah.
information. And you said I've got a ton of plant decks, so like, what's the best ones for people who that? Because I feel like that could
Catch
be
me off the cuff.
no,
Yeah.
but it's a good way in, right? For people
Yes,
who
it's
don't have
great.
access to a load of nature.
I didn't prep this one.
On the spot.
I can tell you, and then like you can share it. But I like my brain is just going completely blank. But I see one deck that I use, and then this is not gonna be helpful. I'll do the same thing I did with Danu's name. I can't figure. I can see the decks in my brain. One is a UK people. That she did the decks, that did all the art, and he wrote the book. Sorry.
God, the pair of us. Is it no, it's not the Druid Plant Oracle, is it that one? That's one, that's
No,
the one, isn't it?
that's a good one though. But this one's like more recent. I think it came out last year, and it's amazing. And then another, I feel like she's also a UK person. But I got it, easily here.
You're gonna email them to me.
Yeah,
put
I have a
them
lot.
I'm gonna put them on. You see, you've got the massive pile of them. That's why. This is like my animal oracle decks, which I
Yeah.
also can't name all my fairy ones.
Oh no, I couldn't name a tarot deck right now. That's how
Yeah. But like, well, email me a list and I'll put them in the description underneath so that people can see them. But I feel like that would be a good way in for people to start thinking about the spiritual meaning of them, right?
Yeah, and I mean, yes, but that is also one person's spiritual meaning, in my opinion. I feel like it can mean anything to you. Like Aster's illumination for me, but what is it to you? You listen and it'll tell you, or you don't have to know right away. And I feel like there was something else I was gonna say about getting involved, like connecting with the plants if you're a newbie. Taking walks, giving attention to things. If I've heard it said if a plant shows itself to you like 3 times, then it wants to work with you. So if it's like a dandelion, you keep seeing dandelions, you're like, hey, you don't have to know what it means. You don't have to ingest it. You can pick it or find one, put it in your pocket, stick it on your altar, whatever. It can be anything.
Do you think plants show themselves like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like just like in your meditations, do you mean? Or just like showing up as like
No, you're outside
symbols?
taking a walk. Yeah, like even with you, if you're not into plants, then trees. Like, when if it's a new place and they're not just. Yeah, I think they definitely show themselves.
And do they sometimes? So the plants that you're living in a very different climate, right? To me,
right.
So you were talking about like working with the passion flower. I have some that grows here, but it's probably not the same. And it's not.
I think it's close.
And you know what? It does show up a lot. And I was thinking about it recently because it showed up in a journey, a meditation. And then it started growing over the fence at the side of my house from my neighbors. Right. So now I have this, it's not my plant, but it just kind of hangs over and it's getting bigger and spreading over my fence. And I can't bring myself to make it not be there because it's really pretty. Passion flower is pretty.
It's a stunner.
And now there's another one that I saw like 2 days ago that's growing in that's clearly appeared from somewhere else. I don't think it's in my garden. I think it's growing up from a different neighbor's garden.
They do spread. Yeah. It's trying to get to you.
What does it want from me, Nan?
I don't know what it wants from you. It's a sassy plant, and you're pretty sassy, so that makes sense. I feel like, that's really cool.
So, like, how would you suggest I figure out what it means?
Well, if it was you, I would say drum and ask it to ask it.
Yeah.
And if you are really basic, I'm not saying that you're like this, but or don't know anything, you can just say it out loud. Hey, I'm interested in you. You're showing yourself. I want to start working with you. Just say it out loud. It's a relationship. How we build any kind. So
yeah. So if you're already like a meditator, you could meditate there. If you're already a shamanic person, then get your drum out, basically.
Definitely. Yeah. Or just say it out loud.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
It sounds like you flirt with plants, Nan.
Yeah. A little.
I like that. So when you are working on your land, then, so you said that you don't only see people that come to like work with you in person.
Right.
When you're working with people you're working with them remotely, the plants that obviously, if you were working with someone even in like California or something, it's such a like completely different types of plants, completely different climate, completely different. But then you're speaking to someone from the UK, do you need to know their land? And can you still get advice for that person from the plants on your land?
Yes, I think it's all connected, and we all are virtually having the same intention in that you want to work with the land, you want to heal, it wants to heal. When you heal yourself, you're healing the land. That's my favorite tarot deck is like all about that. The Gentle Tarot. Do you know that one?
No.
She made it in Alaska while studying salmon, like drew it and read it. It's very animal. Oh, love it. But anyway, so I think definitely it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I like that. I like that. So how does it work if you are working like remotely with someone and you said you would send them like a spell or a recipe or some instruction? So like making a flower essence, is that basically a spell as far as you're concerned? Or like because it feels like me and my mum, we don't make essences, but we use essential oils, right? And we'll have the base oil, we'll add in different essential oils, and then we put in like herbs and like little bits of crystal and we Reiki them. We call that potion making time. Should we have a potion making evening? And then,
I love that.
It's just me and my mum.
I do that too.
Intuitively kind of, like divining which of the things need to go into it. Plus I have my like trusty Scott Cunningham books, like
of course
I like those so I can double check that these things can like but it's funny how then you'll go in and read like this what is it, the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. That's my favorite one of Scott Cunningham, and they talk about how they are, correspond with a particular energy, a particular planet or an element or something, and the magical uses, and then also some stuff about what it might have been used for medicinally.
I love that.
The crossover, right? And so when you're like giving someone a recipe for spells, are you like drawing on that kind of stuff as well? Like
if I know like what they need, like if they've shared a lot, if not, otherwise I'm just gonna go with what's feeling right or what I'm feeling, what I'm being told. And
so it's not like a stock set of like spells that you've created, you're creating for the individual person, right?
It's off the cuff.
Nice. I love that. And these people can then go away and make their own essences or their own spells. And like it's that easy?
Yes, of course it is. You're doing spells with your potion making. It's the same thing.
I think so actually. I don't know why it seems like, oh no, I might like get it wrong more if it's plants.
Well, you don't have to put it in your body if you're worried. I mean, I feel like it's just as potent if you're spraying it on your clothes or dabbing it behind your ear, or, that way too.
That's a really good point actually.
That's the energetics.
Yeah.
It's the energy of it, I think.
And do you tie it in? Obviously you have to tie some of it in seasonally, right? Because there's certain times of year. But do you also tie it in with like particular moons or like?
Oh yeah, I mean I could. I haven't. when I work with the moon, when I work with the moon, it's just like I like to craft on the full and new moons. I try to. But
Crafting.
if you've got something that you really need to get some alcohol on, then it may not be a full or new moon. But I try. Yeah, I like to do like my salves and stuff on the moons.
Your what? Sorry.
The salves, like your body cream or
Right.
the infused oil. I do that on it for sure.
So they've got like extra moon energy in as well as like Reiki energy.
Oh yeah, and if you do a flower essence, you could also or whatever potion you're making, you can put a little moon water in it from whenever. You can just do anything. It's just so fun.
Do you leave the water outside to
I do.
charge under the moon?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. Yeah, I do all the things. It's so fun. I feel like it makes things so powerful.
Yeah, and it's a real creative weaving of all the stuff that you know, right?
Yeah.
For
sure. Me too.
That. So if you were giving, so people who want to better connect with plants, you've already given like really good advice for that. So that you can do fun little things like oracle decks and stuff. And you can obviously read about the meanings of stuff, but it is a little bit of cheating, isn't it? Because it's like a comfort level instead of going outside and actually connecting with plants.
I've cheated for years. So, if that's what gets you there, cheat away.
Yeah.
And then you'll get there eventually, I think.
Yeah. And you said like when you connect with them, you can even just say, oh, hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, what is it that you want to talk to me about?
Yeah. Or I want to talk to you. Let's be friends.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't forget to keep showing up, because that's a shitty friend.
No, I haven't seen my oak tree friend in a little while.
You better go say hey.
I'm gonna do that because that was quite a flirtatious little relationship. It's quite a sexy young oak tree. I haven't seen him for a little while. So I'm going to go and do that tomorrow, I reckon.
That's good. That's a good plan.
Send us all a photo. Right? You're right. It is about like building relationship. I feel that way. I talk to people like, when you're working with your power animals, if you only ever show up when you want something, that is not a great friendship. Like you said, it's not a good friend. So it's the same with the plants, I guess. And people who want to work with a plant like specifically for healing, what's an easy way in? Yeah, I think people, speaking for myself, people can worry about like, oh, I think that this plant is for healing, but is that like, we worry if that would be like dangerous or poisonous or like allergy or whatever. What's like a safe way to work with those energies that you think is safe for people who don't like know as much as you do?
To work with them without ingesting. So put it on your pillow, put it somewhere, but just don't put it like if it's a mushroom and you're not sure if it's poisonous or not, you're not gonna put it in your body. So you would like set it by your bed or put a little piece in a little vial and keep it in your pocket. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like that. Like crystals.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Yeah.
And if you, we were talking before we started recording, we were talking about stuff that sort of represents the plants, because both of us working with little pine energy. Yes. We love pines right now.
Yes.
So I've got a little
show you
one here.
I know you probably can't see it. It's a bracelet I made with nettle thread that I'm doing for Yule time, for your Yule time intentions. See, it moves itself. It's thick string, so it's hard. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I did not make the thread.
That's like once you get your
on Etsy did.
Once you get your spinning wheel, you'll have leveled up to like full witch.
I don't know if that'll ever happen. I bet a spinning wheel is expensive.
Yeah, and you've got like ways to like connect, because I've got some nettle thread, and that again I did not spin it. My friend who has her own spinning wheel, she did it, and while singing into it and stuff like that. Do you sing to plants? Can I ask you that? Do you like plants?
I'm sure I hum. Mostly I just mostly I just talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you're so pretty, that kind of stuff. I just like exuding love to them all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
You would think my garden would be amazing, but it's not.
But it is. I bet it's like a
I mean,
real
it's amazing to me. Some people hate
wildness.
it is wild.
Yeah, no, it should be. That's what it should be. There's something to like distilling it into a little symbol like that though that I really like, because then you've got two types of plant essence in there really. The one in the thread and one in, even though it's not like actually pine, but like I think those things call in the energy of pine. So why nettle and pine for your Yule intentions? I like that you have Yule intentions, by the way, because that's when I like to set my resolutions for the year.
Yeah, I thought, I feel like that's a very magical time of year. Well, I mean, I too am obsessed with pine. I like to make pine and evergreen. Well, mine's red cedar, so I call it an evergreen salve, and it smells like it. And you don't have to put any essential oils in it because the oils of the plants get in the carrier oil, and then you. So I like that. That's a really good, and it has like antiseptic properties, but I just slather it on myself because it smells so amazing, and I want to smell like a pine tree all winter. Yeah, but that's. I feel like, well, the evergreen, you're bringing the life and the light back into the house, and
I just think that's it. You're tapping into like the reason it's in mythology, and one of those things that we use to is become like represent Christmas, but it's like represent winter. Is, because it's still there, like alive and
and
that evergreen in the darkness of winter and in the cold.
Growing up, my mom was always like so annoyed by the pine trees in our yard, because we live in the pine belt. We have lots of pines, and because they dropped all the needles and it made a big mess for the yard. So I kind of grew up thinking, but then as an adult in my 40s, I was like, they're fucking amazing. They are. I mean, like the resin that you could, if it leaves you some resin to make, oh my goodness.
I love pine resin. I just burn it on its own,
and what I like to make it into an essence with like some other stuff. And then Kiva Rose, do you know her? She has like a honey base, and then you grind up all the plants in your mortar and pestle, and then you like dry it out, and then you can put a little piece on some a coal circle. I like to make that, but the pine is real heavy in it with the in it. I love the pine resin. And then the tree itself, it's awesome. I don't know, and it's very like emperor energy, take up space, which I feel like we all need to do as women, especially.
I've never considered that with pine, but you're right, it does have that vibe.
So
like
anyway, that's my
sovereign kind of vibe.
Tall and straight.
And spiky.
It smells amazing.
There's so many pine cones in my house. Like I can see from here, not including the one you're holding and the one that I'm wearing, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my God,
I can see 9 in this room. I love pine cones.
I definitely do.
I really do. And I did some meditation work. I think I talked to you about it at the time with pine trees. One of the I like to do my shamanic journeys and then go away and be a nerd and read stuff as well. One of the fun things that I learned, because it came through as I was hitting like 20 years of doing healing work. And it came through about I don't know if it was just this particular type of pine, it's like Scots pine, that it only becomes like fertile, like the seeds only come, and because that's what I'd seen was like the seeds coming out of the pine, and that only happens once it turns 20. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a grown up now. Like it's like it's time for the seeds to plant. And I like those little bits in the information about what the plant is, and as well as these symbolic ideas that we have about things, I think is really helpful.
Definitely.
Most
Definitely. It's really cool. 20 years.
20
Special.
years, man. 21 now. 21 now.
Woohoo!
I'm like a proper, I could drink in America. My healer self could drink in America.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
So working with pine at the moment to set your intentions, you're crafting on the moons, you're bringing in your moon water and your Reiki, and you're talking to the plants and all of those things. If you were going to give like one piece of advice to people, like at this point, so we're recording this sort of between Samhain and winter solstice, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm sure the land is feeling a certain way. It's certainly starting to feel that way here. What do you think is that speaks to you as if you could give one thing that people could do to feel better connected to a plant medicine that would be helpful for them?
One thing people could do.
Yeah.
I feel like they should just give attention to what's around them. I mean, even now, like I feel like I know a lot of plants in my area, but still every year I discover something that I don't know about. So, like you go the same commute every day. Well, I'm sure something's going to jump out if you give it just a little attention. So, if I was trying to get some healing from a plant, I think I would just be open. Be open. That's the big thing.
And pay attention. You're right.
Yeah.
We're in our phones, or we're, in.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Something will jump out that you need. I'm a firm believer in that. I just like, you just gotta look and something will
plants are everywhere.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
I love it. I love it. It's good advice. Sometimes we forget about these really basic things.
Yeah.
Where say, okay, I want to learn about plants, so what do? Go outside and open your eyes. I mean, that's pretty basic, right? But I'd be like, I better research the author of these various books. And like that's the route I would go down automatically.
That's what I did. I mean, but now I'm like, you don't really have to do that. No. And one of my favorite things is like as an herbalist, one of my herbal teachers was like, somebody big said that you can only really know 7 plants in your life. Like to like work with them and like know them and like, all of the knowledge and getting, reciprocation like that. It's only 7. You only have enough time for that. It's like, okay. But
I love that.
That made me slow down. As far as like, I need all this knowledge. I'm like, wait a minute. Take my time, really know it, love it, listen to it. Yeah, that's my tip.
7 plants. I love that. I love that. I like, oh no, I'm going to have to choose. This is how my brain works. I'm going to have to choose 7 trees.
Yeah.
No, I have like, I'm very into field.
I've got them.
Pine. I'm very into oak. Very into beech trees. I love a beech tree. Those would be like my I would choose off the bat. I would say those are like my favorite.
Sweet gum. We have sweet gum here. I don't know if you have those.
No.
A lot of people hate them because they have these balls that they drop. They're seed balls, and if they step on them, it hurts. Kind of like a pine cone, but smaller and harder. But but they're absolutely wonderful and medicinal. They're the best.
Is that one of your 7?
Yeah. I mean, like if I had to pick.
I know, right? I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm going to make you choose your 7 favorite plants. I feel like your plants are listening, so I can't do that to you.
Yeah.
That's such a, that's one of my favorite things that you've said in this. Actually, is like you only have the time for that. It's like, wow, of course, of course,
you've got time.
There's deep wells of knowledge in there. But also that we don't need to dip into a deep well of knowledge. If we don't want to, we can just go outside and see what and say, hey, how you doing?
It's so healing just to be outside, I feel like.
Yeah.
For me it is, for sure.
Everything's better. I love all of this. I love everything that you're bringing together. And
Thank you.
How, like...
Thanks for this space.
Thank you for coming on and talking.
Nice.
Because, you're like sharing like a really eclectic but very like authentic practice.
Thanks.
And you're bringing
Trying.
seership and, you know, moon work and earth connection and gardening and herbalism and Reiki.
Yeah.
Like, what an amazing thing. And what you're creating with your like intuitive plant healing sessions is that you are, you know, doing readings, you know, seership work, you're communicating with the plants, you're healing for the person, you're helping people create their own essences. There's a space for like joyful play. It's a lot now. How do people get in touch with you so they can find out more about what you're doing?
I have Instagram at Dandelion Crow, and like all spelled out, and then same for my website, dandelioncrow.com.
Excellent. And they can send you a little message and book a session with you or ask you questions. And
you can book one on my website, but that's just best to message me. That way I can get you the form and we can schedule time. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
You can see that it is like nighttime, wintry nighttime here for me.
Sorry.
And beautiful daytime for you.
Yeah,
like morning time for you. Thank you for scheduling in. And
thank you.
I'm really glad to spend this time with you. Thank you.
Me too. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.